We are back. Yes.
What's up, everybody?
It is episode 87 of the Metal Roundtable. I am Metal Rob, and with me, as always, is the great Scott Sparkling Waters, who I saw in person just like 48 hours ago.
Yep, I just came back from Texas. It was nice to be there, hanging out with you all. Of course, we're missing our brother Carcass. I don't know where he's at. He should be here soon, hopefully.
I think this is my fault because I didn't send him the show link in time.
Oh.
So I'm going to chalk this up as a this is my fault. But so what I would like to do as we allow the Carcass to get on board is I'll do a quick shout out. Have you got anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out John Carcass Fossum for his hospitality and letting me stay at his house and cooking me some breakfast. And on Sunday, we just sat down and did nothing but listen to music. That's what we did. We got up, went to a church service, and then came back, and we sat on his couch and listened to music.
Nice.
I haven't done in a long time, without having a phone in my face or a computer in my face. And so that was kind of cool. And I want to also shout out to you for putting up with me for Thursday and Friday and most of Saturday. So we had a good time.
Oh, dude. Yeah, we did have a good time. We hit a bunch of record stores. That was pretty cool. And I think you bought some goodies, which we ought to go over at some point.
There he is.
Gosh, it's the Carcass.
What's up, guys?
This is on me. It's on me. Say it's on me. I didn't get here in time to send out the link. So,
well, you're fired.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a pink slip. Wait, you already have one of those.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. So we're just doing our quick shout out. We've only been on for a minute or two, but yeah, man, we were just reveling in the fact that we got to hang out this weekend. And
yeah, it was great.
Oh my gosh, dude, it was a great time. So Scott was shouting you out for your hospitality and me for putting up with him, which I did not do. We hung out and had a good time, and yeah, man, it was great. My house the first floor of my house still looks bombed out, so we couldn't spread out and lay on the couch as much as I wanted to, but we did a little red chair sitting here in the dude lair, and we watched the Y&T documentary On With the Show, which was awesome.
Very good.
And now I'm pretty sure that since then, I think I owned one Y&T CD. I think I now own about 10.
Well, there are worse places to spend your money.
True.
Than on Y&T. That's a good get.
Oh yeah. So we were just doing some shout outs. One of the things that I cut you off, Scott. I'm sorry. Were you done with your shout outs?
Yeah. We were just talking about having a good time and hanging out and listening to music. And I told him on Sunday, you and I just sat there and on the couch and did nothing but listen to music.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And it wasn't your conventional playlist either. Shocking, I know.
No, right. Terry Sullivan says, "What's up, guys?" Isaiah Montoya says, "What's up, guys?" I'm watching the Facebook stream, so maybe I can catch some of the comments in more real time. But yeah, man, thanks for coming out to Texas, dude. We had a good time. Think you picked up some goodies. You'll have to show us. I already said that. But I want to shout out our guys in Stone Trip again. They have been so nice and just lovely guys over messaging. Con has hit me up. What's up, TJ? Con's hit me up a couple of times, and we should have a new single from them pretty soon. What's up, AZ Mick? Arizona Mick, I assume. So yeah, that's cool. But through the finding of Stone Trip and getting to know those dudes, I got in touch with another Melbourne band. They reached out to me. They're called Cicada Stone, and I am definitely going to start playing them on the Metal Rob show. But also, what I want to tell you about these guys is they have a more modern sound. If you took Galactic Cowboys melodies and mashed it up with Alice in Chains, a heavy Alice in Chains vibe with modern recording, you've got Cicada Stone, laid back. They're not pummeling you 1,000 miles an hour. It's still heavy, but it's laid back. So check out Cicada Stone from Melbourne, and I dig it. I can't wait to get the album and check that. I think it comes out in the next week or two. So yeah, check out Cicada Stone. So shout out to those guys, and obviously shout out to Stone Trip, who came on the show last week, and they were a fantastic guest.
Well, can I shout out somebody?
Do it, bro.
Yeah.
Dee Snyder's birthday was yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Shout out to Dee Snyder. And you know, Rob, I felt bad because I gave Scott this just giant box of a wealth of overwhelming music. And in fact, I've got his posters here ready to ship in the mail. And I felt bad that, you know, you left empty-handed the other day when you came by for the pool tournament. So I found you something, and I'm going to show it now because I thought I know you don't have it because I've never heard this before in my life.
I can't read it.
The psychotic turnbuckles. And I thought, you know what? Not only can you not read the logo, but these guys are right up your alley. So
Okay.
Shout out to you, Rob. You can come get your record and lose in pool again if you'd like. I think you were just being nice. I think you just let us win because you're such a gracious guy and a nice person. So,
well, thank you for the psychotic turnbuckles, and I would have won had the scratch rules not kept changing mid-game.
oh, okay. Well, we'll have to establish that. You know, in Texas, we just sort of make them up as we go. So we'll have a set rule next time we gather the masses.
Yes, and
just like
also,
witches.
And also why I didn't put 2 and 2 together to get the great George Call involved in our Saturday night hang at your house. I feel like a bonehead. I didn't put 2 and 2 together that he and Scott might know each other, and he commented, and so I feel like a bonehead.
What's up, Javi? You never know. Hey, by the way, you never know who you're going to run into at the record store. I ran into Javi just out of the clear blue. I used to see him all the time at Martin House and some of these other beer gatherings, but not that I drink beer, but I was with somebody that did. And so, but Javi's a great guy and a good metalhead. And I just happened to see him when we were trolling around in the back metal section there at Born Late. So that was kind of fun. Well,
and Scott ran into a couple people too, and I believe got some stuff signed. Did you not?
I sure did. Ran into a guy, I don't know how well this is going to show, but ran into the guitar player from Solitude Alternative. So,
yep.
Got me a little autograph there, and of course on here as well. I didn't want to bring like all my CDs and have him sign all of them because I would have just felt like an idiot. But he actually said thanks for making me feel like a rock star. So that was kind of cool. So what is your nickname for him?
JP.
I just call him JP.
And it seems like what everybody calls him, but I mean, I didn't know that, so I called him John for John. And but anyhow, cool.
Yeah.
And then of course we also met the great drummer from St. Vitus,
the great Henry Vasquez.
And I had him
and the Skull and Blood of the Sun.
Had him sign my latest. There, see if I can get that on there somewhere. There you go. There you can see the little autograph there.
Yep.
So
it's awesome.
Very cool. Yep. And then we also hung out with Chris, the great Chris Manning.
Yes, we did. On No Life Till Metal Records, I might add.
Yep.
We need to keep pumping that record, man. We'll get to our topic here in a minute, but we need to keep pumping that record because, man, that thing, it's as good as just about anything out there, if not everything out there. And he's out doing live shows now. His first show was Saturday night, and I was remiss in going. I did not go. But there's going to be some video surfacing, and they're already writing for the next album.
Sweet.
Are copies still available of that record, by the way?
Copies are still available. They're available at nolifetillmetalrecords.com, or you can just go to nolifetillmetal.com and click on the word records, and that'll get you there as well.
Yep. And there's a limited number because I'm doing his mail out.
Really?
Yep.
Can I order one now on? Can I order one on live and in color?
You can either. I can't remember how much they are. You can get the Chris Manning signature model.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Or because Bruce Kulick played on a song, you could get the Chris Manning and Bruce Kulick signature model.
Okay.
So
can I get the second? Can I order it, PayPal you, or do I need to go through the website?
I think it's on his site because these are numbered for inventory.
Gotcha.
And I'll make sure and get that to happen for you.
Yay. Thank you. Happy to pay. Despite me spending $1 gazillion on my car again today. Ugh.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Got a record pull for you. Come on over.
Woo!
It won't be the $2,000 variety, but it'll be, I don't know, about an $800 variety.
Those are the words I like to hear.
Okay, well, I know Rob buys records, so come on over, buddy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and get your psychotic turnbuckles right here at Casa de Carcas.
Yeah,
won't find it anywhere else because I've never seen it anywhere else.
I'm trying to get you this link real quick while we're on, but let's move on to the topic, which is going to be, so a few weeks ago, we did a Mount Rushmore of metal, and we put up a singer, a guitar player, a bass player, and a drummer. I think we were sorely lacking because there were so many people that need to be on the list. Even if they don't land on the top, there's so many people that need to be on that list. So our Mount Rushmore series is probably going to change and move around and do different things. But today we're going to do the Mount Rushmore of singers.
Mount
Rockmore. I like it. So what are our categories, Scott?
So we've got 5 categories. We've got hard rock / 70s metal, whatever you want to call it. We've got heavy metal. We've got thrash, doom, and death metal. Oh yeah. So we're going to start. We doesn't matter where we start off, but
let's work back to front. I am less familiar with the death metal singers, so I'll tell you what I think are probably my favorite death metal albums. And to me, death metal, I would include grindcore in that. So that would be the extreme death metal, grindcore. Is that cool?
Yeah, whatever you want, man.
All right, I'm gonna just throw out a band. And 2 bands, because honestly, I don't know the names of the singers, but give me the singer of Suffocation, and y'all have to help me with the name.
Frank.
Okay. And give me the singer of Cattle Decapitation.
Travis.
So right. I am absolutely not as well versed in death metal as you guys are, and extreme music. So those are the bands that I immediately thought of. So I'll be interested to hear what you think, and if those names would even be considered in your lists.
Oh, so you're just throwing out a few candidates and we're gonna vote on it, or do you have your personal Mount Rockmore?
I kind of figure if we go quickly, we'll just do a top 4 or 5 if we go quick. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I'll go next, and I'll let John go last because he's gonna be superior to me in the death metal thing. I mean, seriously, I like death metal, but I'm a lot pickier about death metal, and I probably own hundreds of death metal records, and CDs. But regardless, when it comes to the different styles of metal, it's not the one I listen to the most. Mm-hmm. So I came up with a list of like 5, and then I just came up with another one. I was trying to look up his name furiously on my phone. But I picked Miguel Ackerfeld from Opeth.
Okay.
Who is a great death metal vocalist and a great songwriter as well, because I believe he is one of the main songwriters for the band, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is the band basically.
I'm kind of looking gonna see what kind of faces I get on this one. Chris Barnes.
Yep. I was just writing him and Corpse Grinder down
I know a lot of people hate 6 Feet Under, but I kind of like them. So I like their death metal covers of classic rock and metal stuff. So Angela Gasso, Arch Enemy. She's not an Arch Enemy anymore, but she was for many years, and she, was a great vocalist, great front woman,
front person.
One of my personal favorites and is from just based off of their first 4 or 5 albums alone is Steve Rowe from Mortification. And then my number one pick was Chuck Schuldiner.
Ah, that's a good one.
Huh. Interesting. You have an interesting list.
Now tell me the lady's name that you said from Arch Enemy.
Angela Gassau.
Okay, I am terribly unfamiliar with their music, but if we're going to talk ladies that can belt it out, you got to include Alyssa.
She was an able-bodied replacement, and I mean that in every sense of the word. But she actually has a little smoother delivery. I like them both. But
yeah, so that's cool. Well, yeah. So who have you got, Carcass?
Okay, well, once again, the similarities between Scott and I are uncanny. But I have my number 5 pick is Martin Van Drunen, who used to be in Pestilence back in the thrashy days, and then he's gone on to do 13 albums with Asphyx or 10 albums with Asphyx, and their new one is absolutely a crusher. My number 4, and everyone in H-Town will know who I'm talking about, but Daniel Sawblade Shaw, who is not only a great artist of like an elevated level above anybody that I know personally, but his vocals when he was with War Master, the original War Master, Blaspherian, and now his new project with Cemeterian, is very it's the epitome of 90s death metal, of early 90s death metal. My number 3, Scott, I went the opposite of Chris Barnes. I went with Corpse Grinder. I knew about him from the Monstrosity days all the way up to the current Cannibal Corpse. My number 2, TJ, Barney Greenway. Hard to argue with his longevity, plus his songwriting, plus his stage antics and stage banter are second to none. But my number 1 was Michael Ackerfeld from Opeth, and you know what? He can sing. He can actually sing, or
right.
He can gurgle and gargle and grind with the best of them. And his writing is unbelievable. Their records have. Some people say they've digressed because they're not a death metal band like they are at Blackwater Park or Orchid or Deliverance or any of those early Opeth records. But man, I will. Scott and I discussed it when he was here, but I'll hold Pale Communion and that style of record to any record out there, not just Opeth records. But so he was my number 1.
Cool. Well, who did we agree on?
Michael Ackerfeld.
Yep. Nobody else. I was surprised. I kind of figured one of you guys would pick Chuck, but
I picked Chuck when we talked about it before, but as I thought about it, see, this is what happens when you have a lot of dashboard time, and I do between jobs or between job sites. So I don't know, and then something from just popped up on my player, and it was Opeth, and I thought, man, you know what, that guy's he's got such a wide range. Plus, they have a huge catalog of music. It's not like they were one and done or did a couple records. But then Napalm Death, they've been around for 35 years.
Yeah.
And pretty much Barney's been there not since the very, very beginning. I mean, that was a whole different lineup, minus Shane Embry.
I'm going to say that you guys agreed on Michael Ackerfeld. We agreed on Barney. I just didn't get him written down. And Scott and I agreed on Chuck. So let's throw a couple more in there.
That's a good top 3.
Good top 3.
Okay.
Let's see who's number 1, Scott.
I'm gonna have to say either Chuck or Mikkel. Is it Michael or Mikkel? I always thought it was Mikkel.
I think
I don't
it's
know.
Michael. I think it's Michael.
Mikael.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go Michael Ackerfeld,
Opeth.
Chuck, and Barney. How
Mhm.
about that? All
Okay.
right,
Got a new
let's
issue
move it over. Let's move it over to Doom.
Doom.
This is going to be a quick one for me again, because I don't know a ton of Doom vocalists. I know some of my favorites, and I think you guys are going to agree with me when I say Eric Wagner from Trouble
Yep.
and the Skull.
I have Eric Wagner on my list too.
Okay, well, we all agree on that.
I have
And
Eric Wagner on my
and
list
give-
as well, just so you know.
now, he may not be the best singer in the world, but when I think of Doom metal, I think of Bobby fucking Liebling.
I thought about him, but he's okay. Anyhow, keep going. You go your list, and then I'll tell you mine.
No, go ahead. That's it. I only wrote a couple down on Doom. I didn't have a ton of time to.
I didn't put Bobby on my list. I mean, it's hard not to put him. He's he's kind of a legend, but is not also Messiah Marklin a legend?
Yeah.
And how about Robert Lowe?
Yep, I agree with you on that one.
Well,
and I don't know how anybody can talk doom metal and not talk wino.
See, I thought of wino too. Okay.
And then I got two more on here. I picked Eric Wagner as well. No, he doesn't. You don't have to be a great singer to be a great vocalist and a great frontman for a band. It's rock and roll. It's not opera. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ace Frehley can't sing a lick, but I sure do like him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Eric Wagner, he's got a charisma, a style, and when you hear his voice, that's Eric Wagner. That's Trouble or that's the Skull. So I have no problem with that one. But one more that I think at least deserves discussing is Ozzy Osbourne.
Good. Oh, I see what you did there.
well,
I mean, we're not Black Sabbath, the fathers of doom.
Yeah. Okay.
And I bet every one of the people we listed will list him as one of their influences.
I bet you're right. Let's hear who the Carcass has got, and let's see who we agree on.
okay. Well, I have Wino and Scott Riegers. It's weird because they're from the same band, but it's like a toss up between the two. And I had Eric Wagner, and then I had Robert Lowe.
Okay. So our top three, we all agreed on Eric Wagner. We agreed on Robert Lowe. I thought of him earlier, although I didn't get him written down. I promise I'm playing fair. But I agree, so y'all don't care. And I could go with Wino. That could be my top three.
I have no argument with Wino. What do you say, Carcass?
Well, I hate to be the dissenting vote, but I guess I can't argue with that. I agree with Fast Eddie too. Look, he's with Scott on Ozzy.
So are we 1, 2, 3? Eric Wagner, Robert Lowe, and Wino.
Yes, and then TJ had a good point. Lee Dorian from Cathedral, and
oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Wasn't he he was the original singer for Napalm Death?
Okay. Well, there's our Death and Doom. Okay, let's move over to thrash. Now this ought to be good, and I don't want Monkey Butt to be on the show till 10 o'clock tonight. So we'll move through this quick. I put three that I think of immediately when I think of thrash, and I could have put the first guy in a couple of different categories, and this is in no certain order. But for thrash, for me, give me Phil, give me Zetro, and give me Chuck.
Billy.
Yep.
Phil. Who?
Anselmo.
Phil Anselmo.
Oh, okay. I never really put him in as a thrash vocalist, but okay.
I couldn't figure out where to throw Pantera because they were a thrash metal crossover. I didn't really know, so I put Phil in that category because I went a little different on metal and rock. What do you guys say? And I know there's some I'm going to agree with.
All right, I have 5 here that I picked that I crossed a bunch off that I really wanted to put, but I didn't want to have a 9-mile list. So I went with I'll give you my bottom two that aren't on my list that I think should be on a list, but Alan Tecchio
Yep.
from Hades, Watchtower. He also did the recent Heathen's Rage reunion tour, among others. Seven Witches. Can't even remember what the guy can sing. The
Yeah.
guy can scream. The guy has charisma and power. Anyhow, Ron Reinhardt, who has always been one of my favorite thrash vocalists from Dark Angel.
That's a good one.
But a lot of people prefer dang it, brain fart. What's the name of that vocals from the first two albums from Dark Angel? Brain fart. Anyhow, I like Ron. But yeah, I'm gonna go. These are my top three. John Osiris, Agent Steel.
Agent Steel. Yeah, hard to argue that one.
Mile Petroza, Creator.
From Creator.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that guy live, and that guy controls a room. Let me tell you. We want you to destroy this place from front to back. The rules, man. I just love them. And then I went with number one, Blitz, Bobby Blitz.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yes.
Scott
Dang.
shoots. Scott scores.
well,
Unlike the Flyers.
and
But I
you know what?
digressed.
Okay, well, good. Let's hear what the Carcass has to say. That's
Okay.
that's a good list.
I had Riley Gale from Power Trip. Rest in peace, my friend.
Great.
Chuck Billy.
Yep.
Bobby Blitz.
Yep.
Ellsworth from Overkill, and I'm gonna shock the world. Kyle Thomas
Yes.
from Exhorter.
Yes.
Heaviest Texas, Floodgate, Alabama Thunder Pussy, a myriad of other bands. The guy can really, really sing.
No love for Zetro.
I love Zetro, but I just don't have enough space. You won't see.
No, it's all good.
See, Carcass makes lists, but then Carcass gets bashed because he makes lists. So I kept the list to a small sheet of paper here.
No, you did great.
So
So who did we agree on? We agreed on Blitz.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all agree on Blitz.
Did you say Chuck Billy? You said Chuck Billy.
I said Chuck Billy.
And I have no problems with Chuck Billy. He was
He
one
ran out of room.
Yeah,
I
that's why he
really
keeps five.
thought Zetro would get some love. I really did. I think Zetro's just got such a killer, violent voice. But I got to tell you, Carcass, man, give me Kyle Thomas. I got to jump on that bandwagon right there.
But by the way, Mark Fields for the win. It's Don Doty. That's the answer you were looking for,
Yes,
Scott.
that's it. Great.
Thanks, Mark.
One of those things that gets on a tip
We
of
should
your
have
tongue.
included Mark, except we don't have one for Crust.
So who else did we agree on, Scott?
Blitz
We got Blitz. We got Chuck Billy.
and Kyle Thomas.
Is that it?
Works for me. Who's number one? Blitz.
I say Blitz. I say in that order. Blitz, Chuck.
Because what do they have, like 20 albums out there?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue with that. Hard to argue with, Integrity 101. Chuck Billy is a no-brainer.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I had Joey Belladonna on my list as well. So I was trying to think, the big four, who's the best vocalist and who would you put on there? And he's the only one that came to mind. But I'm also a big Anthrax fan, so
I don't think the best thrash vocalists are.
Oh, we got one vote for the Dark Angel crew or Death Angel crew.
Yep. So let's roll over to metal. And when I talked about metal, what I was thinking was, well, you'll see. I'll just tell you my list. Rob Halford, Bruce Dickinson, James Rivera, Jeff Tate, Todd Latore. I could go all day. But to me, the no-brainers in just traditional metal are Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson. And we made James the top of our Mount Rushmore. So those are my three.
We were also trying to stick to a 80s style metal there with that one. So
right. So can we all three agree on Rob and Bruce as no-brainers?
Well, why don't we go through our list? We'll see how many we
do
agree.
it. Let's see.
You want me to go?
Go.
I got a bunch here, and then I'll just give you my top three at the end here. But yeah, I went Jeff Tate and James Rivera. But I added to the list Doro Pesh because I was like, there's so many great female vocalists, and we're just ignoring them.
Yep. Yeah, Doro's a badass.
And again, I'm missing the name, but the singer for Hellion I could have added to my list as well.
Anne Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn, yeah. Great vocalist. Anyhow, Udo Dirkschneider, always been one of my favorite screamers from metal.
Okay.
Ray Alder.
Yep.
Morning.
That's a great choice.
A guy who's still belting it out today, Mark Tornillo.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know what you guys think about this one, but I'll fight to the death saying this guy's one of the best vocalists in metal. Jimmy P. Brown II.
Yeah. He's good from Deliverance.
Deliverance, among other bands. I mean, he does his metal thing in Deliverance, but then he's got all these side projects that are all these different styles of music that are really great. I mean, and he sings in all of them. So I kind of got a David Bowie thing going on these days, but still great singer. And then my top three, Bruce Dickinson, Rob Halford, Ronnie James Dio.
Oh, good one. Gosh, Dio got past me. All right, Carcass, what say you?
Oh man, I knew you guys were gonna go traditional with the Dio Halford, whatever, Leather Leone. Nice one, David.
That's a good choice too. Yeah.
But I have number 5, Carl Albert, Vicious Rumors.
Great vocalist.
Kill it, and I'm thinking heavy metal here. Ralph Sheepers from Primal Fear.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have any Primal Fear, then you need to get your act together and find some. Number 3, James Rivera. And I hate to be a homer, but George Call has. I've sent that video, the live at Casa de Carcass, to at least a dozen people, and everyone says the same thing. Who is that guy? He's got such a pure metal voice.
Yep.
Well, we actually agreed. I picked George Call too, so he was on my list. He just wasn't.
But my number 1, Steve Grimmett.
Oh, dude, that was the very last one on my list, and I left it off.
Wow.
Because he's done some great stuff, not to mention, thrash, heavy metal, new wave of British heavy metal, so much great stuff.
Remember we heard that track from Onslaught when we were sitting in here. I had that tape that just had songs, a compilation and whatever, and we yeah, that was the best Onslaught record because it had Steve Grimmett on it. And it was a complete departure from the previous Onslaught stuff. So anyway.
So you can see right there, Steve Grimmett.
So we all agreed on Bruce.
Well, I didn't, but I can't argue against Bruce. I can't argue against Halford. I can't argue against Dio. I mean, what am I, new here? No, I'm not.
That's my thing. It's like if you're going to do a Mount Rushmore and this is heavy metal, how can you not put Dio on there? How can you not put Halford or Dickinson? It's got to be one of those guys.
Right. But, well, let's narrow it to 4 or 5. So to me, the no-brainers are, and I think we've mostly agreed on this, Bruce Dickinson, Rob Halford, James Rivera, Ronnie James Dio. You want to throw a kicker in there for 5?
George Call.
I'm in. I love that.
It was my number 2 pick, so
he was on my list.
So
we're
gonna go
put him in the top 3. And I mean, it's not that I think he's not as good as those guys. I was just kind of thinking, okay, Mount Rushmore, you got to have these. That's all there is to it.
Jason,
okay.
Yes. Oh, Jason McMaster. See, we're getting all these. We could. That's the thing about this thing. These lists. We could go on forever. I mean, because there's so much out there. Anyway, all right. So
and he's a great vocalist too. Jason McMaster did all kinds of. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Dangerous Toys to
fantastic.
Watchtower.
So I only threw down. Now I went in the rock category. What I'm thinking of is anything from, and I'm not going to say. No, I'm going to say what I was going to say because y'all are going to laugh. But I did not write his name down. I'm thinking in the rock category, anything from Loverboy to REO Speedwagon to Deep Purple to just rock, just 70s rock, like Scott said, just rock and roll. I only wrote down 2 names because there's going to be so much discussion on this, which is why I wanted to go back to front. I threw out 2 names. Ian Gillan, and give me all day long Brian Howe. But Brad Delp, I mean, we could go all day. So I'm curious to hear what you guys had to say. So I've got Ian Gillan, Brian Howe, who replaced Paul Rogers in Bad Company, such a pure voice, and Brad Delp on my list. And I could list 50. What do you guys think?
All right, I think 9 or 10. I'll go from bottom of the list to number 1. Brad Delp.
Okay.
And any day of the week, I may not have thought of that one, but because I was hanging out over at Carcass's house, and he's got that giant Boston poster. We were just talking about it, and we're talking about what a loss it was of him, losing him, and what a great vocalist he was. I mean, his stuff was just through the roof. Some of that high pitched stuff, you know what I mean? And he's just an incredible singer. Anyhow,
the comments are fantastic. I can't keep up.
No ostrich tentacles.
Ostrich tentacles.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott. I'm sorry.
That's okay. One that I was listening to today, and not anything classic by him, but a newer release from him, but Derek St. Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, did you listen to your Death Ride, your Blood of the Sun yet?
That's exactly why I thought of it, because I was listening to Blood of the Sun today. I'm like, man, dude still sounds great. What a great record that is. But not to mention the stuff he did with, Whitford St. Holmes and Ted, of course, lots of stuff with Ted Nugent. Here's one I'm going to throw out there, and we'll see what people think, but I think the guy's a great singer. Robin Zander.
Yep.
Cheap Trick. Mm-hmm. Here's one for you. Michael Lee Smith, Stars.
Yep, good one.
Frank Domino.
Yep.
Angel, always one of my favorite vocalists. Moving up the list, Paul Rogers.
Good one.
Mm-hmm.
This one's gonna, let me throw those 3 for a loop, but it's not my top 3. But Ronnie James Dio, he fits in either one of those lists, in my opinion. I mean, he sang for Elf, sang for Rainbow, and he was doing just the rock and roll stick before that. So, and then my top 3: Philip Lynott, Steven Tyler, Ian Gillan.
Man.
I also had on my list David Coverdale and Glenn Hughes, but
that's another good one.
Glenn Hughes. Yeah. All right, Carcass, let's hear what you got, and then we'll
fight it out. All right. Well, and once again, I mean, this was easy for me, except then I started thinking about it, and then, of course, then the names just start flowing. But I had Paul Williams that we listened to from Tempest. Remember the Alan Holdsworth gig there, Scott? And you went, wow, this, the guy had just a kind of like James Dewar of Robin Trower, that same kind of a heavier, dark voice. And then I put Brad Delp in there, but Barry Goodrow was no slouch.
Not at all.
And being in the same band, in fact, when Barry left Boston and did his own solo record, it could have easily been the third Boston album, and even sounded like Boston. I had Paul Rogers in there, and then here's my top 3. Number 3, Sammy Hagar, going all the way back to Montrose, and then his solo career, and then of course with Van Halen. I mean, his career stretched decades. Ray Gillan.
Oh my gosh!
From Badlands and Sun Red Sun, and even had a stint with Black Sabbath until he unfortunately had to leave because of health reasons, and then eventually passed. But my number 1 with a bullet is Ian Gillan. I just can't argue against that. He can do it all.
Okay.
Alvaro just said Phil Mogg. That's another one. I can't believe I forgot that.
Oh, that's a good one too. So we all 3 said Ian Gillan.
And I think Carcass and I both picked him as number 1. Did you as well?
I did too.
So there you go.
Okay, well, that's a unanimous. That's an easy one.
We all picked Brad Delp. So what else did we agree on?
Brad Delp, Paul Rogers.
Yeah, you guys, I cannot disagree with Paul Rogers. I can't. I've been listening to a lot of Bad Company lately, new and old. I'm going to put Paul Rogers on the list as number 3, and I think we ought to throw in a couple of kickers. And I got to tell you, Glenn Hughes is at the top of my list for people to add on here.
Yeah, we're getting Tony Martin now. Tony Martin's getting a lot of love on the comments, and so is Phil Lynott.
Yeah, Tony Martin's fantastic.
Phil Lynott is one of my favorites. The guy was soulful. I mean, just absolutely.
Any love for Doug Pinnick of King's X?
Yeah, I love Doug Pinnick as well. That's all, folks. But I'm also a huge Steven Tyler fan. The guy was a screamer back when there, before there were screamers. So, and then I just thought of another one, Dan McCafferty.
Oh, from Nazareth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where was he from? Who's he from?
Nazareth. Yeah.
Oh, Nazareth. Okay.
Yeah, Nazareth.
You didn't respond, and I thought, did I say something wrong?
No, I said, must not have come through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Technology. I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of King's X, but I can't deny that the guy can sing. He really can sing. He has a certain smoky sultriness to his voice, and he's powerful. Plus, he's a really decent bass player too, and writes great music. So I can't argue with it.
When Chris and I were talking the other day, we always have this hypothetical. If you woke up tomorrow and you could sound like one of these two guys, it always comes down to Doug Pinnick or Glenn Hughes. Always, because they can sing anything, any style.
Yeah.
Metal, rock, blues, soulful voices. So I don't know. So I've got Ian Gillan number 1, Brad Delp number 2, Paul Rogers number 3, with a couple of nods to Glenn Hughes.
Sure. I don't think that's a bad choice. David Rivera, Pat Benatar.
She's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like we're
Robert Plant. Nobody said Robert Plant.
I thought about Robert Plant.
Take it from the guy from Alabama to bring that up. Thanks, JT.
Okay, well,
just the most iconic large band, the biggest band in the world of their time.
I'm going to go ahead and write that down and move it up the list a couple of notches. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's go through this from back to front. So here are on episode 87 of the Metal Round.
Oh my goodness, there's another powerhouse.
Who's that?
And we need to have I know it's not politically correct, but maybe we should have a women's Mount Rockmore.
Hey, I'm totally
cool because we could stack that thing like nobody's business.
I am totally cool with Ladies' Day. Totally cool.
Let's have Ladies' Day.
Lady drummers. Let's bring it all. Let's do that in the future. Let's do women in rock and we'll just throw out our favorites. Let's do that. Okay.
Right on.
So from back to front,
Freddie Mercury.
Talking vocals. Oh my gosh, Freddie Mercury. I'm redoing my list.
It just proves that the people who listen to us are smarter than we are.
Duh. Oh my gosh. Well, and so to me, Freddie Mercury moves Glenn Hughes off the list.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, and we're just throwing it out there. And to me, Robert Plant probably moves Brad Delp off the list. But I don't know. So
I don't disagree with you.
So let's go from back to front. Death metal, episode 87 of the Metal Roundtable. Here's how we see it, along with some of your comments. We hope we agree, but you can fight with us online. It's what the internet was built for. Death metal vocalists: Michael Ackerfeld, Chuck, Billy or Schuldiner. I'm not sure.
Schuldiner.
Yeah.
Schuldiner and Barney Greenway. Wrap it up.
Wrap it.
We did. All right. Doom, Eric Wagner, Robert Lowe, and Wino. Pow. Thrash, Blitz, Chuck Billy, Kyle Thomas. Metal. Bruce. Yeah, these are all first name basis. Bruce, Rob, Dio, James Rivera, George Call. I have no problems with that list.
Boom.
And for rock, once we got our shit together,
And wow, what a
in no particular order, Ian Gillan, Brad Delp, Paul Rogers, Glenn Hughes, Robert Plant, Freddie Mercury.
hard to argue.
All other lists be damned. Oh man,
Okay.
I feel kind of tired after that.
Too much thought. See, the thing is you open the floodgates and then you're trying to put your fingers in the dike. And nobody said Geddy Lee. Oh well.
I think he's another one I thought of. I just you can't have 100 people. That's the problem. So I was trying to go,
especially in the rock category. I think we separated them out pretty well. I think we did an okay job there. But in the rock category, there are so many prolific singers. So I tried to go with pure voice, which is why Ian Gillan, Brad Delp, Glenn Hughes. To me, for my money, Brian Howe has got one of the most pure voices. Jeff Tate and Todd LaTorre, both singers of Queensryche, didn't even make the top on rock metal. You know, and so that just goes to show you, when Jeff Tate doesn't make your metal list, there's a shit ton of good singers out there.
I was gonna say that just means there's a lot of great singers. Period. End of story.
Because Jeff Tate and Todd LaTorre and Brian Howe and Phil Lynott and guys like that, they just deserve ultimate respect. But for the sake of the show, we tried to narrow it down to 3 to 5. And
yep. Someone said that Mount Rushmore is only 4 guys, but
there's space for a 5th.
We're Mount Rockmore, so we have 6 on ours.
That's right. It's our show. We can do what we want. So subscribe.
Subscribe. Yeah, there you go. Become part of it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Where does Phil Anselmo fit in this? All this? I mean, the guy sings doom. The guy sings, his in minor stuff is so creepy and haunting. What kind of music is that? It's just, he's done everything from grindcore. In fact, I let Scott listen to the new Scour that just came out last year, and it was just, the guy can do anything.
Well,
really.
Let's do some of the comments here. So the guy was talking about Phil. Yeah, Rick Emmett. There's another great.
Rick Emmett's another great.
Oh man, and Lemmy. I see Lemmy keep popping up. Now, I think Lemmy's a better frontman than he is a singer, but he sang dirty rock and roll. So, I mean.
Yeah, and back to your point on Phil. Yeah, thrash, doom, black metal. But go back and listen to the 1988 Pantera.
Yeah.
And listen to the high notes. Listen to Cemetery Gates. I mean, the dude can sing,
So, but where do you slot him in all those categories? You slot him in all. You can probably slot him in the categories all doom, rock, death metal, whatever.
Yeah,
but
he's an honorable. To me, he's an honorable mention. He's just next on the list for metal or thrash for me.
Jiminy Christmas, Paul Stanley, Graham Bonnet. We've forgotten half the world of rock and roll and metal.
Oh, Graham Bonnet's fantastic. Graham
Bonnet's awesome. Paul Stanley's a fantastic. I mean, we talked a little bit about Ozzy. Someone said Ozzy. We talked a little bit about him. Extreme metal, Tom Warrior. Yeah, that he could probably fit into the thrash or the traditional metal as well.
Eric AK from Flotsam and Jetsam.
Oh yeah, dude's still belting it out there. But it's just
rate my list. Let's rate TJ's list.
Eric Bloom, another great vocalist. Great
Heavy
band.
metal rock.
From Blues.
Yeah, that was a good list. Hey, Monkey Buck, can you put TJ Lewis's rate my list comment back up there if that's possible? Yeah, he had a good list. Ozzy for rock, Dio for metal, Riley Gale for thrash, Peter Steele for doom. That's a good idea. Yeah. And Tom G. Warrior for extreme metal. I can't argue with that list. That's a great list.
See, the thing is there's so many choices that there's really not a wrong answer here.
No. Right. So yeah, let's just keep rolling some comments here. This is cool.
Still no Corey Taylor.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper is I mean, he's one of my favorites. I don't know. It's just when I think of great vocalists or great singers, he's just not in my mind. When I
Lane
come to think of
Staley.
great performers, he's right at the top.
Lane
Lane
Staley,
Staley, and also oh my gosh,
Scott Weiland.
the new guy for Alice in Chains. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look at it.
I'm just gonna let you stew in it.
Yeah, thank you. The
Corey
dude,
Taylor.
Duvall.
Oh, Slipknot. That's
William
right.
Duvall. Amazing.
Now Axl Rose.
I mean, I heard some of the stuff he did with AC/DC, and the guy's he's much better than I ever thought he would do with that band. Really,
I thought he was better in AC/DC than he was in his own stupid band.
That's kind of.
I mean, his own band. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
have a little angst about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Like, well, you know, we could go on forever, right?
Oh yeah. My lovely bride is calling and texting me, and so I apologize for being distracted there.
Let's add black metal guys. Who you got?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh gosh, I couldn't even talk intelligently about black metal.
This is an interesting comment, Eddie Konopasek. Lejon from Seven Dust, he's got great voice.
Oh my gosh!
And Russell Allen from Symphony X, good lord, that guy has pipes too.
Yeah, Lejon from Seven Dust. I mean, he's the
Guns and Posers.
The reason I like Seven Dust. Such a soulful voice. Kind of.
Name me a bigger and more diverse frontman post 1980s than Phil. Yeah.
All right.
Janie Lane, very underrated singer.
How about Don Dokken, Rob?
Hey, I love Don Dokken. Love it. I can't believe I didn't mention him in the...
I can't believe it either, since you have everything, including something he did when he was like 6 years old.
I know.
At his elementary school.
I actually had Michael Sweet on my list as well of metal singers.
Dude, that guy can really sing too. That and that stuff that he does with George Lynch.
Yeah.
I mean...
And has barely lost a step for a, nearly 60-year-old man. I don't know how old he is, but...
Well, he's in his high 50s, if he's not in his 60s already. But anyway.
John Bush, another good choice. Armored Saint, Anthrax.
Ishan from Emperor.
Yeah.
Blackie Lawless. Now, Blackie Lawless is another one I put with Alice Cooper, where when I don't think of him as a great singer, but he's a great frontman and a great performer.
Sebastian Bach.
And he had a unique voice like Paul Stanley. I never thought of Paul Stanley as an amazing singer, but he's got such a killer, unique voice.
But if you listen to Paul Stanley on that MTV acoustic thing they did and listen to the song.
Damn straight.
Yeah. What's the song?
I Still Love You. Yeah. He dominates on that.
How about James LeBray from Dream Theater?
Oh, shit.
Baron Von
Headbanger. Baron Von Headbanger with the sniper shot. Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
That first album, well, both, all the stuff he did with Skid Row, but holy cow, that first album when he was probably, 19? Just through the roof pipes, man.
Tony
Through the
Harnell,
roof.
great choice. TNT.
Yeah, Tony Harnell.
Ryan Roebuck said Sammy Hagar. He was definitely in the discussion early on.
I had him.
Yep.
Just because of his Montrose stuff.
Tell Ryan to get the guitar sizzle out of those tracks, and we'll listen to him. We'll take you seriously once you fix the guitar sizzle. Yeah, Michael Sweet at pushing 58, killing it out there.
Yeah, old, really old.
Pete Steele needs to be on Doom. Yep. Blackie lost my favorite voice from those hair metal bands. He was so raw. Paul's vocals were peak from the 90s, like 2004. Justin Bieber, and he's a bad. Fraser, we love you, buddy.
All right. Like I said, we could go on forever.
We could.
Yep.
All right.
And we have.
So let's wrap it up. Do we need to recap the list? Or are we good?
No, we're good.
I think we're good. We can maybe we can put the list on the underneath of the YouTube thing.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yep, that would be a good idea. People can read it.
So we were supposed to have Dave Caldwell from Bad Company and Humble Pie and other projects on today, but we had some logistical problems. So I'll tell you guys live right here on the show. probably going to have to record that with him. So I'm probably just going to record one-on-one with him, and we'll play it at a later date, probably just as additional content. Instead of playing it on Tuesday at 5, there'll just be an extra episode or two. And we also have a short episode from when all three of us were in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's fun. Right. That's right, Klaus Mina.
We should have actually just recorded a bunch of what we were doing while we were playing pool, because it would have been that's all we were doing was talking. So
yep.
Or some of the conversations in the car.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Carcass, what happened was the same thing that happens when you and I are on the phone. Scott and I are driving around, and he's like, "We should be recording this. We're doing a show."
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Happens to us all the time. All right, kids, that is it for episode 87 of the Metal Roundtable. You can check me out on Instagram at I am Metal Rob. You can check out Carcass on Instagram at Carcass John Art. You can check out Scott Waters on his YouTube channel by just looking up Scott Waters. You can find all of us on YouTube at the Metal Roundtable, Facebook at the Metal Roundtable, or if you're brave enough, you can just go to themetalroundtable.com.
If you're brave enough.
Easy.
Booyah.
Yep.
Yeah, it says it's an insecure site. It's just a Google site. It's nothing. There's nothing out there. I don't know why it does that. It drives me nuts.
Maybe they scoped out who we voted for. I don't know. Who cares?
Probably. They probably saw my Bang Tango CDs.
Oh, that's what did it.
Yeah, or I don't know. I can't think of anything else funny right now.
And now that they know that you're the proud owner of...
Okay, so I pulled that up, and I'm about to check that out right now. What is it called? Turnbuckle what? I got to find it again.
Psychotic Turnbuckles.
Okay. This is going to be great.
With songs like Lunar Chick, I Wanna Love, I Like a Hip Babe, They Know I Think They're Too Square for Me, She Put a Spell on Me, The Good Times Outweigh the Bad Times, Teenage Crush Affair, Do You Dig Me, I Surf Alone, I Surf Alone, Rebel Woman, She's Got the Best on the Beach, and High Energy.
I'm about to be checking this out as soon as we exit the show. All right, boys, any parting shots?
That's it.
No,
Man.
Thanks for listening, and thanks for chiming in there.
Yep,
and Potato Fry, no, I don't have any Sid Vicious CBGB recordings. And, Potato Fry, no.
We don't say it nearly enough. We do not say it nearly enough, but thank you to Monkey Butt. Bring yourself on, Monkey Butt, if you can, if it's easy for you. Let's say hi to the producer.
He's eating a sandwich. Well, no, there he is.
There he is, the great Monkey Butt. There's our producer. Hey, man, I know that I want to say it, but on behalf of these other two guys, too, we appreciate you. We love you very much. It's been about 2 years now, and thank you so much for twisting and tweaking on our behalf. We very much thank you. You got a little something right there.
Yeah.
A little something right.
Yeah. So join us for the sign-off, won't you? All right, kids, here we go. For episode 87, I am Metal Rob with Carcass John and Scott Sparkling Waters, the Great Monkey Butt. Until next time.
Metal
will
prevail.
Now I got to push the button.
Push the button.